Hello and welcome to Advertisers Watching Ads. My name is Tom Ollerton. I'm the founder of Automated Creative, and this is a weekly show where brands watch other brands' ads.
It does seem like, an egg is an egg, but people really do care.
It's a great ambition, though, to try and be this elevated egg brand.
There was a moment where I was wondering if it was satire or not.
Thanks to Contagious, our sponsors who helped source the ad this week. Before we see that ad, let's meet this week's guests.
Hi, I'm Nikita Longdon. I'm a senior creative project manager, currently working at Lego.
Hello, I'm Diane Perlman, and I'm the former CMO at Blis, and I've just recently left.
I'm Avi. I'm the director of performance marketing at Apple, and I'm just about to start a role as director of marketing at E.On.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let's see this week's ads.
Free range, open range, cage-free eggs. It's all a bit confusing. So we're going to make it a whole lot easier. Here at Honest Eggs Co, we're all about regenerative egg farming. You see, every week we move our laying sheds to fresh pastures, giving our chooks an endless supply of grass and bugs to eat, plus heaps of room to move. To monitor how free and healthy our chooks are, we invented the world's first step counter designed for a chicken. Introducing FitChix. Made from hen-friendly materials with a camouflage design, the device fits seamlessly onto the chicken, so they can do what they do best, roam freely around our farm. Using customised software and GPS tracking, the device counts the steps of the chicken. We then print the chicken step count onto the eggs, so you can see how free and healthy they really are. Over 4,000 steps? Not bad, Henrietta. So next time you go buy some eggs, go for the honest ones. Better get my steps in.
I would like you to vote for how good you think this ad is. 1, 2, 3. A 3 and a 4.
The first time I watched it, I thought, what am I watching? I didn't know where the advert was going, and I didn't know whether it was real or not. And I Googled it, and it's very much real. They've actually made quite a few devices that they say doesn't harm the hens, and the hens wear them a few hours a day to track their whereabouts. It's inventive, I'll give it that.
I didn't actually think it wasn't real, but I definitely thought it was, it's got that real down-home kind of production with the founder out in the field. But I did think it was very gimmicky, but also clucking good fun, I'll say.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was wondering if it was satire or not.
Does that mean it's good? It's like it could be BS, but then it appears to be real. Is this what marketing should be, where it sort of pulls us in?
I guess it depends on your audience. I mean, if you've got like hardcore vegans as your audience and people who really care about animal wellness, then it could be very successful. If you've got others, then they might find the whole thing silly.
I think it's quite funny that you said, is this BS? Because their whole business messaging is around no BS. I just felt like they were just having a bit of a joke and a laugh. But I'm not sure how well that it actually lands in terms of landing the point that this is no BS. They're supposed to be really leaning into this is real farming, real farmers. I'm not sure whether they landed that as well, because it seemed like they really let into the humor of it. I wasn't quite sure whether it was meant to be taken seriously or not. So I'm not sure whether that part landed that well.
Further, I was reading on some of their Instagram posts. It's not the actual amount. They put it on the chickens for a couple of hours and they average it out. Yeah. So it's not like a full step count. They don't harness these things onto all the chickens all the time. They kind of let them, a few of them run around with it for a couple of hours and then they print an average. So that's why I think it's a bit gimmicky, but they are having a lot of fun with it. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Instagram posts, but they having a cam on some of the different chickens and they've given them names and people are kind of rooting for them, and it makes them quite lovable, and so they've got they've added a lot of personality to it, chicken personality to it, which makes it kind of fun and endearing. But I think the device itself is a bit of a gimmick.
It is something that people do, which is kind of like trying to create a sense of these are cruelty free. You don't have to feel like these animals are being harmed in the process. So it's kind of just an extra layer of trying to show like, hey, like we're actually taking this seriously. This isn't like some fake cage-free eggs that, we're just keeping them locked up and stuff. So it's gimmicky, but it also gets the message through that if you do care about animal safety, then this one is, a cute brand to go with.
It's a great ambition, though, to try and be this elevated egg brand, that and a lot of people do care about this issue of battery farming and all the, mistreatment and small
True.
cages and that chickens are farmed and raised in. And so, I think that there will be a lot of people who care about that issue. If it can break through, then, then people will be like, yeah, I want those eggs with the chickens running around, and then maybe it's too early to say whether it's worked or not, but I don't know many other egg brands that have really tried to do something totally different. If it's one and done, then maybe they've got a problem. But if this, becomes the beginning of kind of campaigns that build and additional chicken innovation and, things to keep that eggs fresh top of mind, then could be onto something.
Eggs all look the same. So it's a commoditized market. So if you want to try to stand out and not just be looked at by price, then you got to do some of these gimmicky things to try to, like some of the fancier egg brands, they have beautiful egg cartons. They do a lot of things to try to make themselves stand out. So this is just another out of the box way to not be, just going to a race to the cheapest.
Looking at the Honest to Eggs comments, like their audience actually engages with the brand. They're asking questions. I saw someone ask a really detailed question about the device and how it works and does it harm the egg and the chickens. Somebody was saying that they absolutely love that they care about the welfare of their chickens, love that they're doing this and love the transparency. So, I mean, it does seem like, an egg is an egg, but people really do care. And I think when people feel that, they've got that transparency and can see where their food is coming from, I think they lean into it a lot more. And I think it's actually worked great as a social campaign, like creating these chicken characters and personas where you can see like Henrietta the chicken, you can see her route of the day. It's all, I'm sure they've made it up, but it's really cute. You can see her route, and it is quite nice and endearing. Just be like, oh, they've had a nice little day today. I think it will definitely make people lean into the brand and connect with the brand a lot more.
They are tapping into a lot of the kind of zeitgeist around people being really conscious about, where food origins, where their food is coming from, how animals are being treated. And also, I think this trend about, which some companies like $1 Million Shave Club and some others have done really well, where they put their founder on camera, in all of their glory or unglory, and they let them talk as themselves to camera, and they and something funny happens around them, or they create something. So I think they really have tapped into a lot of trends that people care about, or that people are tapping into themselves. From that perspective, they've done a good job of bringing a lot of threads together, and I think the key will be, how do they sustain that? Is this just a flash in the pan? If they can really consistently be all about this chicken welfare and be demonstrating that in new and inventive ways ongoing, then I think people would develop a preference for that brand of eggs.
You kind of have like a spectrum of like the most extreme highest end of the market, which is this side, and then the lowest end of the market, which is just people getting raw eggs. And like if you go in Africa or something, they just have the eggs there and they're completely unbranded, completely unmarked. You go and collect them in your case that you bring with you. So it's kind of like the two ends of the market, one with absolutely no brand, no name, no nothing. And then the other where it's like high tech and, as high as you can possibly take this, basically.
Would you sign off this campaign in its current form? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there you have it. Nikita, Diane, Avi, thanks so much for your time.